I hope it works. Yes, we're live.
We are live. Well, I assume we're still just going to wait a minute and get started right at 4.
Yeah, so for right now, if there is any audience watching, bear with us. We'll be starting the official presentation at 4. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Need some elevator music.
Yeah, that's 3 minutes from now.
Or we could have a countdown clock on one of the screens.
Woohoo, we're officially at 1 viewer. It's me.
Nice.
Yeah, just in case anyone is able to, you could also view the presentation on your phone. This is what we roughly look like.
Roughly. We're all looking pretty roughly.
Hey, we look good, all quarantine things considered.
Yeah, my hair's not that bad if you can't see the back and how long it is in the back. I think I might have to do it tomorrow. I've been just doing a buzz cut every month.
Oh, I thought you were trying to run the mullet.
That's what it's going to turn into pretty soon.
So just letting everyone know, we're still at 1. People are probably going to wait till 4 to connect. But we are live right now.
We are live. Counting down. Less than 2 minutes. Oh, 1 minute.
I'll also be recording this on the side so that we can upload it to YouTube later.
Nice, nice. Yeah, for those that are watching right now, we had a little technical difficulty, and it looks like we won't be broadcasting live onto YouTube after all. That was our original plan. So if you're letting your friends know that if they don't have a Facebook account, that they can go check it out on YouTube, they will have to wait until we're done, and then we'll get that video posted to it's Green Action's YouTube page. Is it Green Action Justice? YouTube.com/Green Action Justice. So if you want to watch it on YouTube, you can do so after the fact.
Yeah, we will be doing that soon. And Tom, it looks like we have 4 viewers so far. I don't know if that's us
nice.
or different people, but if you're a viewer and you're viewing this stream right now, if you could please go below into the comment section and let us know where you're from so we could shout out your part of the world.
All right, well, it is officially 4 o'clock. Should we go ahead and get started?
Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
All right, well, good afternoon. Welcome to CEJC, California Environmental Justice Coalition. This is our first Facebook Live presentation. We have 10 of our member organizations. They're each going to give their own short presentation about their group. Just as a little showcase, and then hopefully we could do this more in the future and we could get more groups to present themselves. So thank you everybody out there for joining us. My dog is barking, of course, in the background right when we go live. Like Miguel just said, you can leave your comments on the Facebook Live page. Give us a shout out where you're watching from. And at the end of this, in about an hour, we will read off some of those questions. And if they're for CEJC, or somebody else, we'll be able to answer them. Or if you have questions for any of the specific organizations, they will be able to take your questions, but not till the very end. So we're going to try to keep the timing real good. And everybody's going to have 5 minutes to present about their group. So just to get started, my name is Tom Helm, as you can see on the little box there that I'm in. I am the coordinator for California Environmental Justice Coalition, as well as a co-founder and project director of one of our founding organizations, Valley Improvement Project. So I'll also be giving a little presentation on that organization coming up in a little bit. Right now, I'm going to share my screen so that we can check out the CEJC website. And here goes right here is a picture from our founding conference back in 2014. We had over 200 grassroots environmental justice activists from all over the state. And we got together in the small town of Kettleman City, which is kind of towards the southern end of the San Joaquin Valley. Rural, traditionally farm worker, Latino community with a lot of pollution problems, which we'll be getting to shortly as one of the presentations. So we were founded in Kettleman City in 2014. I believe we were at about 40 groups when we were founded. We're now up to over 70. And we were founded with the mission statement of CEJC takes action to bring about systemic change in industry and government policies and practices to protect health and promote justice and resilient communities by uncompromisingly following the principles of environmental justice, promoting unity and solidarity, using community-based knowledge, and strengthening community leadership. We are led mostly by people of color and low-income people from low-income and communities of color. We're a broad, inclusive, grassroots, statewide coalition made up of small and large groups and everything in between, from urban, rural, and indigenous communities. We stand in solidarity and in resistance against environmental racism and injustices, and we are committed to environmental, social, and economic justice. And along those lines, we decided as part of this presentation during this intro that we would read a statement that we recently put out in response to recent uprisings and rebellions against racial injustice and police brutality. So this is CEJC's official statement on the murder of George Floyd and in support of Black Lives Matter and on environmental racism, which is, the core part of environmental justice movement. So CEJC stands firmly with the Black Lives Matter movement and the numerous communities in our state and throughout the country protesting and fighting against police brutality and for racial equality. CEJC understands the importance of solidarity across the spectrum of movements for social justice in all of its forms. And as we collectively navigate the pain and exhaustion created by the repeated generational trauma of witnessing yet another Black man die at the hands of the police. The infrastructure maintaining systemic racism must be confronted at all levels of power and decision making, and its deadly consequences must be exposed and ceased. CEJC is taking this uncertain but vital moment to recognize the importance of our work, our members' work, and the accumulation of racial and social justice work being done across our state. It is literally a life or death matter for many of us. We're fighting for our lives and we can't even breathe. If you're Black in the United States, you are more likely to be stopped by the police, be arrested, be convicted, and given a longer prison sentence for the same crime. And as we know, you are more likely to be killed by the police, actually 3 times more likely than a white American. These disparities are unacceptable as it is, but just as abhorrent is the fact that race is the single biggest factor in whether you live near a hazardous waste facility in this country. Black Americans are 3 times more likely to die from air pollution than white Americans. We can see this during the current COVID-19 pandemic, where racism makes its presence known, as Black Americans make up more than 50% of all cases and 60% of deaths, while making up only 13% of the population. And it should be said that it's similar in the Latino community, as we're seeing here in Modesto and Stanislaus County, where I am. This is in large part due to the widespread respiratory and other health problems caused by air pollution and other toxic exposures. These statistics only show the tip of the country's racist iceberg, merely reflecting the predictable results of unequal access to well-paying jobs, decent housing, uncontaminated surroundings, and access to healthcare. Our own state, many think of as an environmentalist utopia, is in no way immune to this racism. In 1984 study by Sorrell Associates for the California Waste Management Board outlined the types of communities which would face the least resistance to citing polluting industry and other undesirable land uses. The report named rural, low income, less educated, and even named Catholic communities as prime areas to site incinerators, landfills, power plants, and other toxic facilities. Today, CEJC and its 73 member organizations fight against environmental racism in poor communities and communities of color, from the Imperial Valley to the San Joaquin Valley, from the Bay Area to the border area, from farm workers to indigenous communities, oil drilling in Bakersfield to oil refineries in Richmond, from toxic substance creation to toxic waste dumps, from incinerators to cement plants to Superfund sites, from diesel trucks to shipping ports. We all need to start listening to these communities more closely, take their grievances more seriously. Marches, protests, demonstrations, and even riots don't just come out of nowhere. They bubble below the surface while seats of power ignore warning after warning, constantly reevaluating just how much more they can pile on top of our communities and get away with it, until we either can't breathe anymore or we explode with rage. And expressing rage is reaffirming. It can be cathartic, but as history has shown, flashes of rage can eventually fade. And what should come next is the long-term hard work of organizing and activating our fellow community members to engage in and maintain constant and consistent action, a commitment to justice in all of the forms it can take. We at CEJC are and have been committed to the long-term aggressive advocacy and action required to achieve the collectively desired justice we are all calling for in this moment. We are here with you. We are here for you. Environmental justice is social justice. Environmental justice is racial justice. We just want to live. We just want to breathe. We need you to get your knee off of our necks. And this is an official warning from the California Environmental Justice Coalition. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to our first presenter, Marisela, from El Pueblo para el Aire y Agua Limpia de Kettleman City, and also from Green Action for Health and Environmental Justice. So without further ado, Marisela, you're welcome to take it away. Has Marisela joined us?
Yes, but she's muted.
I'm on. I'm not muted, but my internet is really bad. We're on school internet, and I keep getting through. So I'm gonna try without.
Well, part of that economic justice is getting some good internet out to our communities. So put that on the demand list.
Yeah, we could definitely use it. So this is Miguel Alatorre, and I'm with Green Action for Health and Environmental Justice out of Kettleman City. And I'm going to be kind of speaking for my coworker, Marisela Mares, who also happens to be my mother. But we do our work out here in the Central Valley with the youth academies and trying to keep our environment as clean as possible, despite the fact that Kettleman City is a constant dumping ground for polluters, including home of the biggest toxic waste landfill west of the Mississippi, which is Chemical Waste Management. And they like to change their name to Waste Management now to make things sound a lot cleaner while they pollute home. Kettleman City is stuck between the 41 and the I-5, which brings significant diesel truck traffic to our area and pollutes our environment to despicable levels. And it's something that we feel that hasn't been addressed properly. And that's why we're together with our allies in the CEJC coalition to make sure that justice is served for our communities and that we're pressing those polluters and making sure that we hold them accountable for what they're doing to the people's health. This is a battle and a struggle that has been ongoing for many years in Kettleman City. Just recently, our town of about 1,500 residents was just awarded, and I say awarded because we've been fighting for this for a long time, but we finally got our water treatment facility put in that's bringing clean water in from the aqueduct and pumping it into our residents' homes. Before we were stuck with the good old benzene and arsenic wells that are known to be endemic and especially prevalent in Kettleman City. Right now, I just want to acknowledge that we do have 12 viewers on. And thank you so much for watching our live stream and for leaving your comments. And please don't forget to let us know where you're watching from, what location you're coming from. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and we will answer them towards the end of this live presentation. I don't know if my coworker's internet connection has bettered any, but if she has anything to add, she's more than welcome. Thank you.
And
Guess not. You
I
can
was
go ahead
gonna
and move.
say we can, if we get a chance, we can go back to Maricela if she gets a better connection. So why don't we go ahead to our next presenter if they are ready? We have Veronica from the LEAP Institute. Veronica, take it away.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to participate. It gives me great pleasure to be able to discuss some of the programs we have at the LEAP Institute. The LEAP Institute stands for the Latino Equity, Advocacy, and Policy Institute, formerly known as Valley LEAP. And we have a headquarters in Huron where we operate a majority of our programs there. We have one program that I'd like to mention is our Green Raiteros program. And that is a volunteer rideshare program that we provide. And what we do is we give, with the help of volunteers and with our electric vehicles, we take people in farm working communities like Huron to their much needed medical appointments. And just to kind of give you a brief example, normally before Green Raiteros existed, in order for a person to get to a medical appointment in Fresno and they didn't have a vehicle, they would have to pay somebody anywhere from $80 to $100 just to give them a ride to take care of certain medical appointments like cataract surgery, chemotherapy, children's hospital. And now with the help of our program, we're able to provide a service that's helping families get the medical attention that they need and deserve. And so we've been growing. We're very happy with our program. And we also have another program with the AB 617 with the air monitors. And we also have Ruben, our air quality monitor technician. He's also, I see that he's on the call as well. So Ruben can wave if you'd like. We also do King's Ivan. And and that's another one of our where people can go on and report environmental violations. And so we handle the area of Kings County, which would include Hanford, Lemoore, Kettleman City, Avenel, Stratford, Corcoran. So we do, and as you mentioned, Miguel and Maricela, they're great help with us. They're partners of ours for King's Ivan. With their help, we've been able to put together a group called HEAL, and it's Healthy Environment for Avenel Lives. And with their help and leadership, we've been able to get a group together, and they're working to fight the injustice of having a landfill next to their homes. Avenel has a 1,300-foot landfill that's just towering over the top of them. And day to day, people in this community have to deal with the horrific smells from all the dead carcasses, the rotted garbage, and everything just 100 feet from low-income apartments and residential homes. So that's another, we're still working on that. That's going to, just like Kettleman City continues to fight for their clean air and the injustices having chem waste next to them, the community of Avenel will continue as well. We've been doing with COVID, we've been doing a lot of work providing PPE for the areas like Huron. We've given over 6,000 masks to members of the community that probably wouldn't even know, the dangers of what could happen if they weren't properly protected. So we've done that. We've done food distributions even through the COVID situation. We've been trying to teach and be an example of how you can continue to support these communities and provide support to them, and still practice social distancing and being safe yourself. We have a lot of other, programs. I would love to go on. I know we only have a few minutes and I want to give everyone else a chance, but you're always welcome to look us up. Right now we're working on we're doing upgrades on our website. So if you'd like, I would be happy to provide our office information or my email, and you're always welcome to give us a call. We would love to go further and show all the work that we're doing with these farm working communities that need your help as well. So if you are willing to come and support and be a part of our fight to make sure that people get the help that they need for social justice and everything else, please give us a call. 559-945-7433 is our office number. And my email is vaguirre.gr@gmail.com. Thank you all.
Thank you, Veronica and Leap Institute, for all of your work. We have been going kind of with our San Joaquin Valley group, so we're moving through the valley. I also want to just say that Sejal from the Bay Area gave us a shout out online, and Don Osborne from Fresh Air Vallejo, one of our members who going to be presenting, is also watching and checked in. And it looks like we got 14 views and climbing, and that's of a couple of minutes ago. And Miguel, do you want to say something before we move on?
Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out also to some recent comments that just came in. Pam Richard from TRICARE Valleys in Livermore, a shout out to you. Free California. Sandy Emerson here from Berkeley. We also have some Comite Civico members that are also on the line watching us. And I just want to thank you everyone for your support. If you could please make sure to comment, keep liking, and let's share this live stream so that our message could be shared to a wider audience. Thank you. And you could go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching and sharing and liking and all that good stuff. So like I said, we're going to keep moving through the valley. So as their name shows, from the Fresno area, we have Ron from Fresnans Against Fracking.
Yes, I'm Ron Martin, president of Fresnans Against Fracking. We are the energy committee of the local chapter of the Sierra Club, the Tehipite chapter. And we agree with the Sierra Club that I'll bring up our logo here for the Sierra Club. Well, okay, there it is. And I need to share that. And I'm not, I thought I knew how to share the screen here, but it's not, oh, okay, there it is, okay.
There you go.
Yeah, there is the logo for the Sierra Club. And we, I wanted to bring up the logo for the Sierra Club. We agree with the Sierra Club that fossil fuels are racist because in order to get fossil fuels to drill and mine, you have to have sacrifice areas, and that means sacrificing the people who live in those sacrifice areas, who tend to be minority races. So the struggle for environmental justice is also the struggle for preserving the ecosystem of our planet. And Fresnans Against Fracking got a start in about 6 years ago when we showed a film against fracking, and people signed up to be involved. And we have a listserv now of over 200 people. And the first thing we did with that listserv was to call through it, well, telephone people, and 50 people bought $25 tickets to rent a tour bus to go to Oakland for the March for Real Climate Leadership. We joined 8,000 people, which is about triple what we expected, marching from Oscar Grant Square to Merritt Lake. It was a festive march with sculptures of effigies of Governor Brown, cardboard oil derricks and dinosaurs, dance groups, a parachute. We were showing the state and our government that we're ready to get off of fossil fuels. And then it Merritt Lake, we had a rally with speakers and musical groups, including the Fossil Fools, and we powered the speaker with renewable energy, our legs, as we volunteers pedaled 10 bicycles to power the speaker system. And shortly after that, we had a rally at Fresno's Amtrak station opposing oil trains, which carried fracked oil across the country, which are very dangerous. It was really a risk, and people died. These oil trains are like a pipeline on wheels. You can see it's just loaded with oil, highly flammable, sometimes more flammable because they put volatile materials to get the oil in and out of the cars. And then when they derail, the steel on steel makes sparks and they light up, and this is what we get. We get burning train cars. Fossil fuels are dangerous, and if it's near a town, we get this. This is what happened to the town of Lochmaganic, and 43 people were killed because of a derailed fossil fuel train. So at our rally, we had speakers from various groups, labor, environmentalism. We were supported by the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom, who brought their choir, the Raging Grannies, who sing songs with progressive lyrics. Later on, we went to Monterey. We went to the headquarters in Salinas, set up by the Center for Biological Diversity. And it was in favor of Measure Z, a measure to outlaw fracking in Monterey County. They're doing a little bit of fracking in the San Ardo oil field, but the people wanted their county to be known for growing lettuce, not for the toxic stew. We went door to door telling voters vote yes on Z. They passed Measure Z. But of course, as we expected, the oil companies challenged it. We went to the beginning of the hearing where we heard some of the arguments by the oil company lawyers saying various reasons why it should be struck down. And the judge struck down 2 of the 3 components of Measure Z. So that battle isn't over yet. I meant to show you our new logo, which I went past, but that's our new banner. And if you have questions about Presence Against Fracking, contact me at this email address. I can put you on the listserv. You can get our messages about events that are coming up, about calls to our legislators that are coming up that are important, emails we should be sending, things we can do to oppose fossil fuels. I'll just briefly seek to go back to our new logo, which is there. There's our new sign with the oil derrick over the fracked well, including a water faucet putting out toxic drinking water. And Presence Against Fracking is glad to be a part of the California Environmental Justice Coalition. Okay, let's see.
All right, thanks a lot, Ron. That was a great presentation. I also wanted to say I appreciate you wearing your CEJC button. I totally forgot to put my button on, so you remembered. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And, Miguel, I think we got some more shout outs on from our viewers online. Do you want to talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, we do. We have a shout out from Linda Sanjeev with Fresness Against Fracking, and Richard D. Lyle from Fresness Against Fracking. So nice. There we go. That was a really good presentation. Got a lot of views. Thank you for that, Ron. Now moving on, we can go ahead and move it back to Tom, our MC here from CEJC.
All right, yes, and I'm going to pass it to myself because I'm actually the next presenter. Like I said, I'm also the co-founder and project director of Valley Improvement Projects. We were one of the founding 40 members of CEJC back in 2014. So I am going to share my screen, and my computer was being a little slow, so just bear with me here if it takes a second for the right thing to pop up. I have to go from here to the slideshow. Okay, and it's always puts it on the wrong screen. All right, there we go. So, Valley Improvement Projects, we were founded in 2012, just a couple years before CEJC, made up of local community organizers that were doing different projects before that, and we decided to kind of come together, and that's where the name came from. We all had our own different projects and interests, and they were all with the goal of improving the Valley and Stanislaus County. We had a community center from 2013 to 14 in downtown Modesto. Here are some pictures of our community center. We had a bike kitchen in the back where we'd fix up bikes and give them to local youth and homeless community members sometimes that needed them for transportation. Picture of some of our members and staff tabling at the downtown Modesto Earth Day event. So we see ourselves as justice advocates, and this presentation is usually longer than 5 minutes, so I'm going to skip a little bit of stuff. So the definition of social justice, for example, is similar to the definition of environmental justice, so I'll go right to that. It's the fair treatment and meaningful involvement of all people, regardless of race, color, national origin, or income, with respect to development, implementation, and enforcement of environmental laws, regulations, and policies. And to give you a little idea about where we're coming from in Stanislaus County, this picture, if you're looking at the screen on the left side, this is the San Joaquin Valley. This is from CalEnviroscreen. It's a tool where you can look at different pollution factors as well as socioeconomic factors, and you can see a pattern. The coast and other areas are nice and green, which means they're healthier and have more resources, and the valley here, there's a lot of red and orange and yellow, which means there's more poverty, more socioeconomic issues, and more pollution. And so you can see in the picture on the right side, this is Stanislaus County right here, Modesto right in the center, Turlock here. You could see a lot of red around. And just to illustrate that point a little more, CalEnviroscreen uses census tracts. So there's 94 census tracts in Stanislaus County. 29 of them, so almost a third of the entire county, is ranked in the 90 to 100 percentile, which means they're worse off than 90 to 100% of the census tracts in California. Out of the 94, 61 are considered by the state of California to be disadvantaged communities, and there's different statistics that qualify for that I won't go into, but that's almost 2/3 of the entire county is a disadvantaged community. And 7 of the census tracts, mostly pretty much all in Modesto, are in the 99 percentile. So 7 of our census tracts are worse than 99% of the rest of the state, and that's the airport neighborhood and neighborhoods in South and West Modesto and one in North Modesto. And the highest scores are from particulate matter, which is air pollution that is really bad for your health, contaminated drinking water, pesticide exposure, asthma rates, poverty rates, unemployment, and housing burden, which is how much of your rent goes, or how much of your income goes towards rent, which if you're living in Modesto, you know that the rents have just been going up lately. So what is VIP doing about it? Well, just some of the things we do about it. We get involved with other organizations and coalitions like CEJC. We're a member of Central Valley Air Quality Coalition, for example. So it's really important to have solidarity in the environmental justice movement so that our organizations aren't played off of each other. They say, well, we'll clean this up from your community and then we'll dump it over here in this other community. We say, no, 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 not so fast. We're in solidarity with each other. So locally, we just try to raise awareness for these issues that we talked about. That comes in different forms, like hosting community meetings and events. Obviously not right now. We're not doing in-person meetings, but we're getting better at Zoom and broadcasting live, using social media, creating instead of physical flyers to hand out at events. We're just making the flyers to share on social media and our website. And we always try to educate community members on how to efficiently hold our representatives and decision makers accountable, building that community capacity and awareness and engagement. And most importantly is staying engaged, because this work, it can be tiring. And so it's important to, once you get involved, to maintain a level of involvement in the community. And this is kind of long, but I'll touch on the important parts. Our current projects: we have a right to know about pesticides campaign. There's certain laws that you're supposed to be notified when they're spraying near your home or near where your child goes to school. And if people aren't actually checking on that, then sometimes they just don't do it, unless people are complaining and letting them know, hey, I know the law and I want this to be done. They're not going to take the time themselves to do it. We're also doing the same kind of thing around drinking water and researching some of the issues in Stanislaus County. We have a pretty cool air monitoring project, which we call SCAMP, Stanislaus Community Air Monitoring Project. We're putting particulate matter, the PM 2.5 monitors around the county to look at patterns of air pollution and which communities it's worse in. A longtime project of ours has been advocating for recycling and other forms of waste diversion, because Stanislaus County actually has one of only 2 trash incinerators in the entire state of California. There was recently 3. There was one in Commerce near LA that just got shut down. There's still one in Long Beach, and the other one in the entire state of California is right here in Stanislaus County, near the small, mostly Latino town of Crow's Landing, just south of Patterson, off of the I-5, near the landfill. And we believe that's a reason why, for example, Modesto doesn't have curbside recycling and other things like that, because they have to burn stuff to make energy and make money. We also let people know about electric vehicles to help clean the air, and we just started a environmental justice youth club, and we're going to be doing a series of workshops over the summer with high school age youth, obviously all virtually through Zoom. We're going to do it in person, but things didn't work out that way. And see, this is our SCAMP project. You can see up here, it's small, but there's an air monitor. These are some of the youth that are involved at this community center called Westside Ministries in Turlock in South Stanislaus County. And this is a screenshot of our monitors on the 4th of July, when there was a lot of fireworks going off. And you can see in West Modesto, that's off the charts, very unhealthy air. So you can go to this website and see what our monitors, as well as monitors in San Joaquin County that other groups that are part of this project are putting up. Part of our youth outreach was to also have a youth-led climate justice march, which we had a lot of interest in, and then we had to postpone it because it was supposed to be in April for Earth Day. So we will hopefully be following up with that. Here's doing some outreach in Riverbank in the northeast part of Stanislaus County, talking about electric vehicle rebates. And here's a flyer for our Environmental Justice Youth Club. And you can check out our website and our Facebook and stuff to get information if you know of any youth that would like to be involved in that. And we as well have been doing some broadcasts on Facebook Live. So here's some of the posters. We've been trying to do one in English and then one in Spanish with the same information. So we've done Know Your Rights when encountering police because of the obvious stuff going on. And we had one about our air monitoring projects and air quality. And this is our contact information, which you can go back to if you want to go back to this video later after it airs live. And usually we do questions at the end, but we'll be doing the questions at the end of the entire presentation this time. So that is Valley Improvement Projects. And I will stop sharing my screen here. And moving kind of from the Valley to the Bay Area, where we have some groups that are going to present kind of in between in the Livermore, Tracy area. We have Tri-Valley Cares, and we have Raisa on the presentation right now to talk about her group. So welcome.
Hi. First of all, I wanted to say thank you for letting us participate in this event. So I'm going to share my screen right now. And hopefully you guys see it. Okay. So my name is Raisa Marciscano Beris. I am the bilingual community organizer at Travaille Cares. I contacted by Travaille Cares to reach out to the Spanish-speaking community to build community outreach to empower Tracy, San Joaquin, and Livermore as well. Especially Tracy, since we all know that they are now 40% Latino. So my main goal of Travaille Cares is to work with all of these communities so we can all together work to protect the community, health, and the environment. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the background of Travaille Cares. Travaille Cares was founded in 1983 and incorporated in 1991 in Livermore, California by concerned neighbors living around the Lawrence Livermore Lab, one of the two locations where all USA nuclear weapons are designed. So both the main Livermore Lab and Site 300 in Tracy are on the EPA Superfund list of most contaminated sites of the nation. So the main site in Livermore was placed in the roster in 1997, and the Site 300 joined the Superfund roster in 1990. So the cleanup time frame is estimated to take about 50 to 80 years, if no more. So in Tracy, there are nuclear test bombs blasts in Site 300. Nuclear weapons activities at Site 300 has resulted in more than 120 contaminants that were released into our air, our soil, the water ground, and some surface waters. In fact, some of the wells that surround the Site 300 are already contaminated, and we are not able to use them. So these activities are extremely dangerous, causing health risks. And as we already seen, there are some cases of cancer related to this. So from 1955 until 1980s, workers buried waste at Site 300 in unlined trenches. There are dumps in which they deposit contaminated equipment like a glove or clothing, contaminant debris that they were from the firing tables, and they're actual bearers with liquid and soil waste. So when the rain comes in, it mixes with all these, with everything that is in these trenches. It comes out these dumps, and they release into the soil, the air everywhere, contaminated. So that's what we're having to deal with today. So the mission of Travaille Cares is to strengthen global security by stopping the development of new nuclear weapons in the United States, promoting the elimination of nuclear weapons globally. As we know, nuclear weapons decrease rather than increase human security. So we strongly believe that nuclear weapons pose one of the great social, economic, and ecological challenges in our time. So Travaille Cares mainly serve as a watchdog for the Livermore Lab. So we make sure they are doing the work they need to do this contamination, to the cleanup of the contamination, so that have been happening throughout the years. So in summary, what we do, we promote environmental justice. I write or speak and translate environmental information into English and Spanish and vice versa. We build community outreach to empower, like I said, Tracy, San Joaquin Valley, as well as Livermore. We help this community to participate in environmental decision-making regarding nuclear weapons. We work with governmental and non-governmental organizations for the cleanup of these toxins. And we work closely with the leaders to increase their understanding in the Superfund and the cleanup of these radioactive substances. So one important thing that I wanted to mention is that we have an office in Tracy because we wanted to get together with the community. If they have any question, if they have training, workshops, that they can help them to write letters to the editor, which is one way for them to speak up, to have a voice. They have to understand that they have a power and then they can change law and they can do something for the environment. So if you have any question or you have any, you need any translation, you can always contact me at raisa@travalecares.org. You can visit our website at www.travalecares.org, and you can follow us in our IG page in Travale Cares anytime. So thank you so much. I'm gonna see if I can stop sharing. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Raisa, for that presentation. And we have a few more coming up. I know it looks like we got a lot of viewers on Facebook Live, so much appreciation to all of you for sticking around and checking out our presentations. Miguel, there's some specific shout outs and comments
I just wanted to make sure we send out a saludo to Brawley, California, to John Hernandez and Dave Casey from Walnut Creek Planet Friendly Eating. Thank you so much for the support, and thank you for being active in all the comment and like sections. Keep sharing to all your friends and family, and let us continue with our live presentation. Thank you.
Awesome. And we are moving from the Valley over to the Bay more. So our next presenter is Sabrina with the Bayview Hunters Point Mothers and Fathers Committee. So take it away.
Okay. Let me get that up there. Can you guys see my screen okay?
I can.
Oh, okay, thank you. Hi, my name is Sabrina Hall, and I'm with the Bayview Hunters Point Mothers and Fathers Committee. And we're located here in San Francisco in Bayview Hunters Point. A little history about our organization. The Bayview Hunters Point Mothers and Fathers Committee roots go back 20 years. And we started in Hunters View Public Housing during the historic fight that closed the notorious PG&E Hunters Point power plant in 2006. The power plant was right across the street from Hunters View, and many residents suffered health problems from the pollution. The Hunters View Tenants Association, led by Tessie Esther, worked with Green Action's Marie Harrison to form the Hunters View Mothers Committee for Health and Environmental Justice. Our mission. Today, we work to educate and mobilize our community in the struggle for environmental health and justice, including demanding a full cleanup of the radioactive and toxic contaminated Hunters Point Shipyard Superfund and other contaminated areas within Bayview Hunters Point, and work to oppose gentrification that is being pushed by big corporate developers and their friends in City Hall. Bayview Hunters Point Mothers and Fathers Committee likes to take action. And here's some photos of us at the shipyard. We're also very active in the community. During the COVID-19 crisis and the Black Lives Matter movement, here we were giving out hand sanitizers in partnership with Green Action for Health and Environmental Justice, giving out environmental justice literature, and letting our community know about racial disparities. For the Juneteenth Festival, Bayview Hunters Point Mothers Fathers Committee joined staff from the Green Action for Health and Environmental Justice on 3rd and Palouse Streets, connecting community through outreach and engagement. The team gave out, like I said, complimentary gift bags with personal protection equipment in support of the COVID-19. Here's more photos of Green Action and Bayview Hunters Point Mothers and Fathers Committee. In the community, during the Black Lives Matter and Defund the Police protests currently, Bayview Hunters Point Mothers and Fathers Committee is dedicated and in support of the Black Lives Matter movement in our community. Here's Bayview Hunters Point Mothers and Fathers Committee, Leotis Martin, Renee Jenkins, and me, Sabrina Hall, supporting the Defund the Police movement. More pictures, because Black Lives Matter. Here's Bayview Hunters Point Mothers and Fathers Community doing COVID-19 work in the community. Here's links to the San Francisco Bayview newspaper and even a podcast. Within the Bayview newspaper article, it says, by including the community in decision-making and execution, Tipping Point hit the ground running with the suggestion by local Bayview residents, Sabrina Hall of Bayview Hunters Point Mothers and Fathers and Southeast Community Council, to implement immediate pop-up sites about the park. She adds, I'm really happy about the community coming out and helping our people in the park. There's no need for them to be there. I wish London Breed would open up and let them in hotels, get them housing, let them in RVs, whatever it takes, get people to safe spots where they can shelter in place. There's me, I'm a member of Bayview Hunters Point Mothers and Father Committee, helping set up all those tents in the park. Here's my email. And thank you for having us on here, Tom. Thank you.
Great. Thank you for joining us and being part of CEJC and all the great work you do on the front lines. We're going to keep it moving. Also from the Bay Area, we have Carl and Brandon from Breakthrough Communities.
Thank you very much, and we're very happy to be here and joining with all of the groups who have been working for environmental justice from the neighborhoods and the struggles of our communities. Our organization, Breakthrough Communities, is based in the Bay Area, but we work California-wide and also nationwide. We do research supported by the neighborhoods and communities in the Bay Area and across the country. Recent resources are sustainability, The Earth, the City, and the Hidden Narrative of Race, which looks at the historical issues of racial and environmental justice that go back to the formation of African American communities since the beginning of the foundation of the country and before. We also have published Breakthrough Communities, Sustainability and Justice in the Next American Metropolis, which has foundations of, there were some 60 environmental justice efforts across the country, including 12 case studies that are highlighted from community-based organizations across the country. We also have produced the climate justice stories of frontline stories of communities across the Bay Area. This organization, this effort was the support of 50 organizations that developed a Six Winds transportation plan for all of the 98 counties in the San Francisco Bay Area. And we also have the Resilient Communities Initiative that has been working on future challenges around sea level rise, which are going to be targeting, unfortunately, many of the low-income communities as the sea level rises, and that's the focus of that organization. We would like to just present the basic idea of looking at the development of our communities across both across time and across the efforts that really look at the formation of grassroots organizations through the stages for which they have provided the kind of emphasis that we need. Many organizations are young and are just waking up to issues of environment and climate justice. So the first stage is looking at waking up. The second stage, which most of our organizations are focused on, is learning how to say no to the things that we should be protesting against. And we put a lot of emphasis on this is because this is the entry point of many of our organizations. But we go beyond that and see that as we succeed at that level, we have to begin to look at the causes, really basic causes of our challenges across time. And we see that many of the causes are intergenerational in character. And so the third level in which we look at is getting grounded in our own history and our own experience across generations. And then we discovered that as we get involved in this, that we have to reach beyond the fourth stage, is reaching beyond what we know about to the areas that we have not had experiences, but which we discovered in the process of doing that, that we can enlarge the experience that our neighborhoods and communities have. And finally, the fifth stage that we really address is the effort of being able to say, yes, we need to be able to lift up what are those things that we are actually committed to in a positive sense, of saying yes to the issues that we really want to transform our neighborhoods and communities to be able to address those issues in present and future times. And so these are the 5 stages of which we call the compass of transformative development. I just want to say that we have struggled a lot with the issues of regional planning and regional development, because as we really look at our communities, we can see they're very mobile. Many people are being pushed out of the central cities toward the regional communities in the suburbs. So we really put a lot of our emphasis on regional development. I'd like to finally say that you can locate us at our website in the announcement that we put forward, and we give you the address, our website address, and we continue to work with the various communities to make sure that we are thinking about our struggles today and tomorrow with kind of a vision of where we're going in our neighborhoods and communities. Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to present that.
Thank you, Carl, and Breakthrough Communities, and for all of your work over the years. One of the leaders in environmental justice, and we're glad to have him a part of CEJC. We're going to keep it moving. We are just a little behind schedule. We've been taking breaks to give shout outs to all of our viewers. We have a couple dozen viewers watching throughout, so we really appreciate you sticking around, especially towards the end, and watching and giving us comments and stuff like that. So we really appreciate it. Moving on to our next presenter, we have Janet from the Sunflower Alliance.
Good afternoon. I'm Janet Johnson. I live in Richmond, and I'm a member of the Coordinating Committee of Sunflower Alliance. I want to acknowledge that I'm on occupied Ohlone Weechan land. We're so grateful to CEJC for giving us this chance to introduce our work to a wider audience. So let me just share my screen here and begin the show. Sunflower Alliance is an all-volunteer organization committed to environmental justice and the health and safety of San Francisco Bay communities threatened by toxic pollution and climate disruption. We know there's no climate justice without racial justice, so we use our website, social media accounts, and discussion lists to uplift and help grow the movement for equity and racial justice, as well as climate and environmental justice. If you sign up on our website, every Monday morning, you'll receive our weekly announcements, a comprehensive list of environmental justice events and actions in the Bay Area. We collaborate with organizations or groups of individuals from local communities and help develop and support leadership from those communities. Following local leadership, we provide resources and share skills, people, organizing experience, contacts, money, and time. Members help with logistics in planning marches and demonstrations and serve as legal observers and monitors. We help build capacity and bring supporters from different communities and campaigns. As an unincorporated association, we're free to endorse and donate candidates and issues in local and state races, as well as canvass for them. The Bay Area is home to 5 oil refineries, 4 in Contra Costa and 1 in Solano County. We've joined forces with environmental justice and labor allies to push our air district to adopt stricter refinery emissions rules. Sunflower Alliance support has been critical to a number of fossil fuel resistance and environmental justice campaigns. No Coal in Oakland is a grassroots organization campaigning to stop the threat of coal being transported by rail into Oakland for export. The proposal to build a massive coal terminal at the foot of the Bay Bridge remains tied up in federal and California lawsuits. No Drilling in Brentwood is an East Contra Costa County community group that's come together to protect Brentwood from a renewed threat of proposed oil and gas drilling next to homes. This campaign is part of an ambitious effort to rein in fossil fuel expansion and industry influence in the county. No Coal in Richmond was our successful 2-year campaign to pass a land use ordinance phasing out coal and pet coke operations at a private terminal at the Port of Richmond. We partnered with Sierra Club, San Francisco Baykeeper, and countless groups and individuals to achieve this historic win. Several companies that produce and handle coal and pet coke have sued the city of Richmond in federal and state courts. The Climate Emergency Task Force will hold its first virtual summit on healthy and sustainable cities on Friday, July 24th. The AB 617 legislation was written to allow community members to develop a community-based plan to reduce air pollution. But in Richmond, the process is threatened by the polluters themselves. Sunflower Alliance is part of an environmental justice coalition fighting to make Richmond's AB 617 process transparent and democratic. Thank you so much for watching this presentation. Please visit our website, sign up for our weekly announcements, and get in touch if you need our help or want to get involved in our work.
All right. Thank you, Janet and Sunflower Alliance, for all of your work. And I know that there's some connection with oil and coming into the port of Stockton, which is just north of me. So all these issues are connected. That's why we need a statewide coalition to all be in solidarity with each other. Miguel, any new comments or shout outs you want to mention before we go to our last presenter?
Yeah, we just got a comment, and I'm sorry, bear with me for all the pronunciations, but Sejal, I'm not too sure, but she commented, and she said, good job. I also like to thank everyone who keeps on viewing. I know this is a pretty patient, but we really appreciate everyone for tuning in and watching, and please remember to share and like. And for further reference, we will be recording this. We are recording this meeting and we'll be posting it to our YouTube channel, the Green Action YouTube channel after this, so that the people that do not have a Facebook can also connect with us. So thank you once again.
Yeah, and thanks for Green Action for helping out with everything. Miguel, especially, we'll have to get a CEJC YouTube page set up soon. We have one more group that's going to present, so I don't want to spend too much time, but from Fresh Air Vallejo, we have Liat. So please go ahead.
Good afternoon. I'm Liat Meitzenheimer, and I'm currently the president of Fresh Air Vallejo and a founding member. I also have with me Toddy, who is our social media maven, and she is extraordinaire because she was the one who helped us to get our word out. She's also a founding member. I'd like to start out by thanking our ally organizations of CEJC because of the support that they've given us and contributing to the Vallejo positive outcomes. A brief history of Fresh Air Vallejo is that we started as a group of community members that heard that there was a cement plant that was going to be planned for our waterfront, and we started meeting and putting together information and putting that information out to the public. The map that's shown is showing where the reach of the cancer-causing agents that would happen. It also shows the pollution that would go out for anything that happened to be bad for your health. It was cancer, respiratory illness, strokes, and so on. The other map is showing the area that we were located in, and is close to residential areas and only 1,300 feet from an elementary school. So what we did was we started meeting, mobilizing the community, putting together information so that we can get the word out. We also were blessed with the fact that we have a great artist community that helped put together posters and signs that we could put out into the community to raise awareness. And we started putting that information out in our farmers market. So we gave out information and passed out yard signs to tell people that we were opposed to the cement plant. We had numerous outreach meetings in the community with people who are experts in the agency, including Andre Soto and Margaret Gordon from the West Oakland Indicators Project. So we started off becoming a nonprofit. We wanted to make sure that we were giving out information to the people, and that we started doing a fundraising because we needed a defense fund. So the first part was going to the Planning Commission. We won that. We got a 6-1 to deny the permit. They agreed with the community that it was a bad project because it was a negative impact to the community. We also started attending our city council meetings. This is a group of people that put together a string of postcards to show our not wanting to have this project in the community. And much to the dismay of our city council, they wanted us to not protest at their meeting. So in June, we got bad news from the city council. The city council decided to uphold the appeal by the applicant, and that resulted in 2 more years of fighting in the community instead of dealing with the issues that were more important, which were focusing on housing, health, and police reform. So we continued to go out to the community. We did outreach. We made sure that we were having our information out in the community. But we found out through the investigations that we did that the land that was actually sold was not part of the land of the original project. It was trust land that was put out. I'm sorry, it was trust property that was owned by the city that should not have been sold. We also found out that there's a possibility, because of all the other fights in the community, that in the region, that there was going to be possibility of coal coming through Vallejo. So we decided that we were going to join on to the no coal project, and we added that on to our opposition to the cement plant because they were going to be running trains through Vallejo. We continued to work in the community, having protests and demonstrations on the city hall steps. And then, yeah, we're going, slides are going really quick. And then we also had a group, there was a splinter group that was through our organization, that was a arts community organization that petitioned to the National Registry of Historic Places, and we were designated as a historic preservation place. So that made it difficult for the company to then destroy the building that they were planning to occupy. Christmas came early for us in November. The Department of DOJ sent a 33-page scathing letter to the city council telling the council that the DFEIR was violating CEQA. They also had flawed and misleading information in there. They had passed up a lot of information that would be misleading to the community. And so they wanted to have those things addressed before the city council we're going to approve or deny the hearing. In April of 2019, we got good news from the city council. They told us that they were not going to approve the appeal, and that the information that had been provided so far was supporting a denial of the permit. And so we had reason to celebrate. We found out also during that time that the applicant had withdrew their appeal. The applicant was the person who owned the property. So of course the cement plant, who was a leasee, could not move forward. This is our celebration on the steps of City Hall on the night that we would have had the hearing, so that we could all celebrate the fact that we were able to indeed breathe fresh air. So we had a celebration. We decided from moving forward from there that we would focus on creating environmental justice policy for the city, supporting our regional environmental justice organizations, and make sure that we had in the city a vision for the community, that projects would not move forward, such as a cement plant. We also are supporting all of our ally agencies. We also have joined forces recently with the Bay Area Breathmobile, which has come to the community to do testing and monitoring for asthma for the children in the city of Vallejo. We continue to work with our allied agencies, and we want to make sure that we want to thank everybody for the support we received. And in the spirit of the Honorable John Lewis, we want to continue to get into good trouble and to step up and keep getting in the way. Thank you.
That was great. Thank you, Liat, and Toddy as well. Yeah, definitely John Lewis should be mentioned. Rest in peace. And that was our presentation. I thought went very well. I want to thank all of our presenters, our members, for being part of this. Took a lot of work behind the scenes, and we pulled it off pretty well. So give yourselves a pat on the back. And I want to also thank everybody that watched, even if it was for a little bit, but especially those of you who watched the whole thing and gave us some shout outs and left some comments and some likes and shares and all that good stuff. We really appreciate it. So we're gonna just wrap up here. I wanted to share one more time the CEJC website, just so folks can get some more information. For example, if you go to our About CEJC page, that's what I read our mission statement from, which is also in Spanish. You can get our contact information. We have a message machine, an email, Facebook, and hopefully maybe the YouTube channel coming soon. So look out for that. I also wanted to just show a couple of things, ways to get involved. You can check for events that we have coming up, although besides this, we don't, because we're not doing in-person events. But hopefully next year we will have an annual conference. That usually have a statewide conference. You can see some pictures of our conferences. Also very important, if you wanted to donate to CEJC, you can go to this page. Because we are fiscally sponsored by social and environmental entrepreneurs, there is actually a link that goes to our page on their website, and you can donate through PayPal, or the old-fashioned way. You can write a check and send it to us, and we'll get it to our fiscal sponsors. And this is our fiscal sponsor website, and this is where you can go and donate. And also, I know that Fresh Air Vallejo, they joined because they saw a conference that we were doing in Sacramento and came and shared their story and became a member of CEJC and has been with us ever since. So if you know an organization or part of an organization that also wants to join, you can also do that here on our website. Just go to the CEJC. It's just a simple form to fill out, give us a little information about yourselves, or you could always just send us an email or a phone call, or hit us up on social media and let us know that you're interested in becoming a member, or maybe you have a suggestion for a great organization that you feel should be a member. And please feel free to let us know that. And you can also look at our entire list of members. You can look for the members that presented today and go to their website and make a donation to them as well. So we want to spread all the love around to all of our members. And just another big thank you. I want to give another special thank you to Miguel for doing a lot of the technical work and behind the scenes work. We couldn't have done it without him, so very appreciative of him, right? Everybody, everybody give a hand to Miguel.
Yeah.
And stay tuned for hopefully a second round of presentations from more of our organizations that are doing a lot of great work. A lot of great organizations that couldn't make it to today, but that definitely need to be heard about from other parts of the state as well. So stay tuned for that, and we hope to do one that is all in Spanish, and we will be promoting that as well. And so we do have a little time to do some question and answers. If there are any questions from Facebook to any of the specific groups.
Yeah, so hi everyone, once again, thank you. And this is Miguel. We do have a comment that was made earlier during a presentation. We have one, I'm sorry, let me scroll to it, from Jackie Barshak. She said if more could be mentioned about the Climate Emergency Summit on July 24th that was mentioned by Janet. So we can go ahead and start there. Go ahead, Janet, you could take the floor. I will be muting.
Yeah. I think if you were to go to the Climate Emergency Summit, this one is on sustainable cities, and the registration is on their webpage. If you know Steve Nadell, you can send him an email. He is the sunflower person who has been working the hardest on it. If you don't know Steve, please send an email to action@sunflower-alliance.org, and we can forward him the email and he'll be happy to help you. This is going to be the first. The second one will be in August, and that will be on fossil fuel resistance in the Bay Area.
All right. Thank you. And thank you again, Jackie, for that comment. We appreciate every comment we're getting in the feeds. And I see a lot of people are thanking us, and a lot of people of the information that we're posting. So thank you. And like Tom said, we hope to do this once again. I'm going to end this live by making a quick announcement. So since this COVID stuff began, we as community organizers have had to switch our toolkit and what things we're using to help get to community members and get the message across to them in a safe manner. And so recently, LEAP and Green Action and the group HEAL from Avenal, California have been working together on a community forum, and the topic will be the dump in Avenal. That is a huge mountain of trash that is polluting people's way of life, and it's just really eyesore and should not be there. And so we're putting together this community forum that's going to be on the 22nd of this month from 4 to 5:30 that will touch on that topic and help educate community members and what they against this monstrosity of a dump that's just ruining people's lives and quality of health. So please make sure to tune into that. We will be promoting that very soon on the Green Action website, LEAP website, and others. And one quick thing just to end this live is thank you so much to everyone that was involved, presenters, commenters, likers. We will keep this fire going for everyone. And I hope everyone has a great rest of their weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will now be ending the live stream. Thank you.
And remember to check it out on Green Action's YouTube page.
Hey, Tom, actually, you have to end the live stream. You're the one doing it.
Oh, okay.
Bye, everybody.